नमो नमः। परम आयुर्वेद आयोजित और पंचकर्मा महर्षि वैद्यराज गोगटे पुरस्कार प्राप्त चरक संहिता अध्ययन अध्यापन तद्विद्या संभाषा इस उपक्रम के 283वें पुष्प में आप सभी का वैद्य महेश भुजबल और मैं वैद्य सारिका भुजबल सहर्ष स्वागत करते हैं। आज के पुष्प के प्रमुख वक्ता आदरणीय परम गुरुवर्य वैद्यराज विष्णु जोगड़ेकर महोदय जी का भी विशेष स्वागत और आपको सादर प्रणाम। पुष्प का आरंभ हम धन्वंतरि स्तवन से करेंगे।
नमामि धन्वन्तरि वादिदेवम् सुरासुरैर्वन्दितपादपद्मम् लोके शरार भयमृत्युनाशनम् धातारमीशम् विविधौषधीनाम् शङ्खं चक्रं जलौका दधतमृतघटम् चारुदोर्भिश्चतुर्भिः सूक्ष्मत्वचातिहृद्या सुखपरिविलसन् मौलिमं भोजनेत्रम् कालाभोदोज्ज्वलाङ्गम् कटितटविलसत् चारुपीताम्बराढ्यम् वन्दे धन्वन्तर्यन्तम् निखिलगजमला प्रौढदावादिनीलम्
मैं आदरणीय गुरुवर्य वैद्यराज विष्णु जोगड़ेकर महोदय जी से अनुरोध करती हूँ कि कृपया आज आप हमें दोषौषध निरूपण भाग 1 इस विषय पर मार्गदर्शन करें। धन्यवाद।
Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we will start with today's lecture, Dosha Ushadha Nirupan, first part. I am Vaidya Vishnu Zoglekar, ex-professor and head of the department Agada Tantra, Chirag Ayurveda Mahavidyalaya. I am MD in Kaya Chikitsa as well as MD in Agada Tantra. At the start of the lecture, I would like to acknowledge my gurus. Vande Paratpara Gurum Purushottamākhyam तथैव तच्छिष्य श्रीभास्कराख्यम यशवंत भाष्यकर्तारं वंदे तदनु मद्गुरुं माधवाद्यान तथा सर्वान् कृत्स्न लोक प्रदर्शकान्. I would also like to acknowledge Param Ayurveda, Vaidya Sarika Bhujbal for inviting me, all my gurus, all of those who learned something from me, and all my patients from whom I learned something. So the topic of the lecture today is Dosha Aushadha Nirupana, Ayurvedic perspective. So the first question arises, why Dosha Aushadha Nirupana is essential? There is one directive in Chikitsa, that is, Taccha Nityam Prayunjita Swasthyam Yena Anuvartate Ajatanam Vikaranam Anutpattikaram Chayat. So the objectives are dual. Keeping and preserving health, that is one objective. Prevention of diseases is another objective. In particular, if we want to avoid iatrogenic diseases or Vaidya-janita vikar, we need Dosha-Aushadha Nirupana. What are the factors involved in this? In Charak Samhita Dirghanjiviti Adhyaya, it is said that Viparita Gunair Desha Matra Kala Upapaditaihi Bheshajaihi Vinivartante Vikaraha Sadhya Sammataha. That means drugs which have opposite properties, which are compatible with the terrain. That terrain may be outside the body, Bhumi Desha, or inside the body, Deha Desha. Drugs which have been calibrated for the dose in a particular patient and administered at an appropriate time. Such kind of drugs are capable of curing diseases, not all diseases, but which are acknowledged as curable. The various factors are described in various texts. We all know this Dushyam Desham Balam Kalam Anulam Prakritim Vaha Satvam Satmyam Tatha Aharam Avasthasya Prathak Vidaha. Here Desh is missing, but instead it is Dosha here in this slide. Sorry for the inconvenience. Now, in Aushadha Nirupana, what Charak Samhita says in Madana Kalpadhyaya, Tani tu dravyani, Desha, Kala, Guna, Bhajana, Sampad, Virya, Baladhana, Kriya, Samartha, Tamani, Bhavanti. So these are the factors for Aushadha Nirupana. Now, if we want to learn about Dosha Aushadha Nirupana from for any disease or for any patient, we can follow some of the resources. From the classics, we should learn by heart Bheshajavacharaniya Adhyaya from Ashtanga Sangraha Sutrasthan. In Ashtanga Hridaya, Dosha Bhediya and Doshopakramaniya are the important adhyayas. In Charak Samhita, Madanakalpa and Roga Bhishak Jitiya Viman are important adhyayas. We can also utilize sources from internet. Botanical databases are there, chemical databases are there. These are particularly useful for Aushadha Nirupana. For all other purposes, including Aushadha Nirupana, curated websites are important. Internet has a tendency of publishing anything. There are some websites which strictly filter their content according to some norms. So if we want to know about genuine references, we need to follow the curated websites like PubMed, Scopus, Google Scholar, and our own Indian government portal, Namaste portal. There are various libraries and encyclopedias, and nowadays more and more things are getting covered in mobile apps. So all these resources can help us in Dosha Ushadha Nirupana. Now, in today's part, we are limiting ourselves to Swasthasya Swasthya Rakshanam. As the proverb says, prevention is better than cure. Stitch in time saves 9. In the same way, if we follow this principle, we can make very precise interventions for Swasthya Rakshan. Swasthya Rakshan. What are they? Firstly, we will see Dosha Nirupan, and then we will go to Aushadha Nirupan for Swasthya Rakshan. Now, in Dosha Nirupan, 4 important things should be considered. One is Dinacharya, other is Rutu Chakra, then Sadvrutta, and finally Trayopastambha, Ahara Nidra Brahmacharyam. So, in Dinacharya, morning session is devoted to Mala Sanchaya Nirharana or removal. Over the night, many of the malas get accumulated, and those should be evacuated early in the morning. And that is not just defecation and micturition, but also cleaning your mouth, cleaning your nose, cleaning your eyes. Everywhere where malasanchiti can occur, there is some procedure to remove that in day-to-day manner. Because these that malasanchiti is time sensitive. If we clean it before it becomes a hetu, then we are breaking the hetu satatya. If we clean our mouth, our teeth early in the morning as well as at the night. Dvavu kalau dantapavanam. If both times are used, then malasanchiti on teeth becomes negligible. I have seen patients of very small age who had to do root canal of all front teeth at the age of 5. And the reason, the child slept after taking milk without cleaning of mouth. And that led to root canal treatment in very early age. So malasanchaya removal at both the ends of the day should be taken care of. Because malasanchiti is one of the reasons of dosha sanchaya. If malasanchiti is blocking some channels, it will lead to vata prakop. Mala itself contains many undesirable chemicals, and these chemicals ferment, are processed in various manners, become irritants, and increase pitta. And they also block various channels. They create an environment where kapha gunas like manda get predominant, and kapha vruddhi also can occur. So mala sanchaya removal in dinacharya is one of the important aspects in dosha nirupana of swasthasya swasthya rakshana. There are specific preventive and health promoting behaviors described in dinacharya. For example, there is pathya which are in ophthalmic diseases, nityam hi nayana priyaha, etc. The advice by Vagbhata is there. Then specific behaviors like abhyang, snan, etc. These are very specific preventive and health promoting behaviors. For any particular patient, patient comes with some inborn or acquired peculiarities, we can say, or vulnerabilities, we can say. We should identify those vulnerabilities and promote the specific preventive and health promoting behaviors to protect the patient from the vulnerabilities. The whole dinacharya is designed to follow the timetable of doshas. We all know the sutra Vayo Ahoratri Bhuktanam Tentamadhyadiga Kramat. So Ahoratra, the first part is Vata, second part is Pitta, and third part is Kapha. I got the sequence wrong. Please forgive me for my lapse, probably due to my age. The last part of day and night are for Vata, the middle part for Pitta, and the starting part for Kapha. Now, another thing is we can choose the tool according to Prakriti. Means for even say Danta Pavana, we can choose different Danta Pavana Vanaspati according to Prakriti. Means for Vata Prakriti, we should select more or less Yashti Madhu or Madhu, Ghruta, etc. For Pitta, we should use Kashayaras and Tiktaras. And for Kapha, we can use all three Tikta Katu Kashaya Rasa. This rasa preference is also predominant in selection of ahara for the patient. Now we come to Rutu Chakra. We all know about Rutu Chakra. Hemante Nichitashleshma Vasante Kaparogakrut. That we all know. That Rutu Chakra is intimately related to amount of doshas in the body. There is also a variation in dosha gati. And here the gati means kshaya sthanam cha vruddhim cha doshanam trividha gati. Not just urdhvadasthirya, bahya abhyantara marmagati, madhyam marga. That kind of gati is not expected here. The expected gati here is kshaya, sthana and vruddhi. Then we should also consider prakrita and vaikruta dosha. Means we all know that Hemanta is a season for kapha sanchaya. Shishira also kapha sanchaya. But particularly in Shishira Rutu, that excessive Shita Guna also causes Vata Vikruti. Many of the Vata Vyadhis related to Rutu, they don't just flare up in Varsha Rutu, but they flare up in Shita Rutu, like Hemanta and Shishira, and that is Vaikruta Dosha Dushti. So Prakruta and Vaikruta Dosha Dushti is important for designing Rutucharya for a particular patient. Means if we know that patient is going to suffer from Vaikruta Vata Vikruti in Hemanta or Shishirutu, we can advise the patient to have very warm Abhyanga and Svedana in Hemanta and Shishira Rutu. So every Rutu has particular predominance of rasa, and we can use this predominance for, say, anupana, or for the food articles and the spices we use in the food. They should change according to Rutu. Means in Hemanta and Shishir Rutu, you can use large amount of spices, but in Grishma Rutu, the amount of spices should be reduced. So this Rutu and Rasa Sambandha is important for diet. Then Rutu Sandhikal is something which is ignored by many people. This Rutu Sandhikal is a period of change from one Rutucharya to another Rutucharya, and that should be a systematic program. And this program is generally not advised and still is followed. So, Rutu Sandhikal should be planned and advised to the patient. That is my advice to the practitioners. Next comes Sadvrutta. Sadvrutta directly doesn't apply to Sharira dosh, but it applies to Manasa dosha. Whole Sadvrutta is designed to promote Sattvodaya, Sattva Gunotkarsha. The way we behave, way we speak, everything, way we approach various things, our attitude, our aptitude, all these are reflected in Satvarajatama. And Sadvrutta is designed to promote Sattva Guna. It also gives us tools to handle emotions and control or reduce Rajas and Tamas. Means there are many people who act before what they think. लेकिन सद्वृत्त में पहले सोचो और फिर करो, इस तरह का निर्देश हमें दिया जाता है. For tamoguna, specific designed activities are advised. The days of rest and days of work are part of Sadvrutta. The attitude towards completion of tasks, attitude towards addictions, all these come under Sadvrutta. There are also social aspects of Triguna, Sattva, Raja and Tama. Sattva is cooperation. Rajas is aggression. And Tamas is herd mentality. So, for most of the things, human beings follow the herd. Whatever is going on in our system or our nation or our local community, we blindly follow that. That is tamas. Then aggression is one of the way to gather resources. So for praneshana, dhaneshana, and paralokeshana, many people behave aggressively, proactively and aggressively. That is rajas. And the best way in any kind of social situations is cooperation. From this dosha nirupana, we are now moving to aushadha nirupana. In dinacharya, the aushadha nirupana can come into these four things. Dantadhavana, I have already explained. Now, Ushapana is one of the things which Sushruta describes as Vayasthapana. Shitodakam payas sarpihi yakpitam sthapayed vayah. So, Shitodaka is for all type of prakritis. Honey or makshika is for kapha prakriti. Milk is for pitta prakriti. And ghrita or ghee is for vata prakriti. Means we know that in pitta upakram, pittasya sarpisha panam is the first way to combat pitta. But for daily ushapan, ghrita is recommended to vata prakriti. For abhyanga, we can use different kinds of oils. Plain tila is useful for all kinds of prakritis. But if patient is pitta prakriti, then instead of sesame oil, we can use shatadhuta grita or narayana tail. For kapha, we need strong oils like marichadi tail. For general purpose, balya and rasayana kind of abhyanga can be chosen, but according to prakriti of the patient and according to the season, we can change this abhyanga. The same is true about nasya. Means in rainy season, in vata prakriti, it should be snehananasya. In kapha prakriti, it should be shodhananasya. And in pitta prakriti, it should be shamananasya. Now, in aushadha nirupana, we have to use vyayam as an aushadha. For vata, correction of posture goes a very long way. Vishama asana is the leading cause of vata vyadhi particularly spinal diseases, cervical spondylitis, pelvic or lumbar spondylosis. These kyphosis, scoliosis, lordosis, all the spinal deformities are largely due to improper posture or vishamasana, and correction of posture and strengthening the weaker parts should be the vyayam for vata prakriti. For pitta prakriti, as we know, they are sukumar. So short sessions are required for pitta prakriti. They get ardha shakti lakshan, they get very easily. They sweat very easily. So sweating on forehead and upper lip and face, that occurs very easily in very short time. So they require repeated breaks. So short and multiple sessions for pitta prakriti are required. For kapha, endurance and heavy sessions are needed. Endurance kind of vyayam is needed. In Rutu Chakra, rasa pradhanya we have already seen. Haritaki is one of the rasayans which can be used in every kind of patient, almost every kind of patient. And for Haritaki, there is the Rutu Haritaki, which gives specific anupan for Haritaki according to Rutu. For selection of drug, Adana Kal and Visarga Kal is an important consideration. In Adana Kal, we should not use Tikshna kind of drugs, Ushna kind of drugs, or Apatarpana kind of drugs. Whereas in Visarga Kala, we need Tikshna, Apatarpana type of drugs. Rutu Shodhana is, of course, very important. हैमंतिकम दोषचयम वसंते वगैरह, अब सबको वो ऋतु शोधन मालूम है. स्पेसिफिक दोष के लिए स्पेसिफिक शोधन स्पेसिफिक ऋतु में किया जाता है. ये औषध निरूपण का ही एक भाग है. अन्न is the best medicine. So when we think of food as औषध, we have to cover prakriti vichar, anala vichar, koshtha vichar, vaya vichar and satme vichar. Doshya vichar is important in aushadha nirupana. For any doshya, regeneration, restoration of strength, pachana or digestion of ama, srota shuddhi, cleansing of channels, agni vruddhi or deepana, poshana and or brohana, then traya upastambha, ahara, swapnaha, brahmacharyam, and exercise, all these come into doshya vichar. Regeneration of lost dhatus may not always be possible just with diet. We may have to give some supplements. Nidra and Brahmacharya are important for regeneration. Nidra is a period where all the abuse that the body has undergone, all the Sanchiti is there, all the injuries which happen during the day, all those are healed during Nidra. Nidra is a period where Hetu Satatya is removed and Nidra leads to healing. Brahmacharya preserves Shukra Dhatu, which is important for regeneration of dhatus. Exercise is important for regeneration of dhatus, muscle building exercises, um, fat reducing exercises. These are important. Then Pachana is digestion of Ama. Usually, this is taken care by food, but sometimes we have to use drugs. Then Srota Shuddhi or cleansing of channels can also be achieved with food. Agni Vruddhi or Deepana can be achieved with food. Poshana or Bruhana or nourishment can also be achieved by food. For example, proper use of spices is useful in Agni Vruddhi. Particularly for Rasa Dhatu, we should use ginger, cumin, cardamom. For Rakta, it is coriander seeds, cumin, cinnamon. In mouse, black pepper, long peppers, and garlic. For Med, methi or fenugreek, mustard, mohri. For Asti, tamalapatra, and Pug are important. For Majja, nutmeg or जायफळ, saffron, kesar can increase Majja Bhatwagni. For Shukra, for males, it is ghee and milk, and for females, it is oils and udad. For Bruhan and nourishment, we can have additional things in our food. For Rasa Dhatu, asparagus or shatavari, bamboo shoots. For Rakta Dhatu, it is kiwi or papaya. For Mamsa Dhatu, kushmand or petha. For Meda Dhatu, agastya. For Asthi Dhatu, almonds or vatam. For Majja, small fish, ghee are important. For Shukra, all the Vajikaran preparations can be given. Bhumi Desha Vichara is important in designing the diet. Yasya deshasya yo jantuhu tajjam tasya aushadam hitam. Try to find local Ushna Dravya for diseases in temperate zones. Saffron is very good example. Try to find local Shita Dravya for diseases in tropical zones. It depends upon where you are practicing or from where the patient comes. Shita Dravya for diseases in tropical zones, best example is Chandan. Bala Vichar, Prakrutastu Balam Shleshma, Vikruto Malam Uchyate. So Bala depends on Kapha dosh. So that is important factor in dosha nirupan. And Bala or Abala depends on a few things. Nidrayattam sukham dukkham pushti karsham balavalam. So Nidra is important. Daive purusha karecha sthitam hi asya balabalam. So it may be inheritance or it may be our behavior. People with disabilities overcome their weaknesses by their efforts. Guru Alpa Vyadhi Samsthanam. What kind of disease is there that will decide the bala? Means we have seen that in the first wave and second wave of COVID, the disease was very powerful and many people died. But after vaccination, we can see that disease has become much simpler to treat or much easier to control. It has become mild from extremely virulent. Then again, sattva and their both bala are important. In Aushadhi Nirupana, bala vichar is basically again Agni Deepana, Poshana, Rasayan and Vajikaran. We have already seen this slide. Kala Vichar and Dosha Nirupanam. Vayor Ahoratri Bhuktanam Tenta Madhyadiga Kramat. That we all know. And what kind of environment change happens? Microorganisms have their own life cycles. They have specific periods where they roam in our body. For example, in Shlipada or filariasis, the filaria worms, they are at their peak level at midnight. So, if we want to diagnose filariasis properly, we have to take the sample at midnight. Various viruses have their own time periods, various fungi, bacteria, all these microorganisms. Then ultraviolet light is more predominant in day. People usually smoke more in the evening. There are various pharmaceuticals which are taken at different times. The apoptosis or killing of cells or suicide of cells happens according to a daily timetable. So that is important in maintenance of health of dhatu. Microbiota and microorganisms are two different things. Microbiota is our own microbiome. We have microbiome on skin, we have respiratory mucosal barrier, we have gastrointestinal tract, where more than 300 times the microbes are there than the human cells. Nutritional factors like gluten or iodine or vitamin D have their own mm, cycle of absorption, reaching peak values, and elimination. So all these are important in dosha nirupana, and all these are covered in Ayurveda by just the saying Vayo Horatri Bhuktanam Tenta Madhyadeva Krama. So Antataha Vata, Madhya Pitta, or and at the beginning it is Kapha dosh. Kala Vichar in Aushad Nirupan is very clear. Kapodreke Gade Anannam Balino Rogarogino Annadavo Vigune Apane Samane Madhyeshyate. We all know all these Aushadhi Sevana Kala. Another Vichar, Agni can be defined as recognition of self and non-self. Vayu helps it using signaling, Pitta by controlling the transformations, and Kapha by retention or assimilation. Another Vichar, in short, is described in this verse. Aharam pachati shikhi, doshan ahara varjitat pachati, doshakshaye tu dhatun, pachati cha dhatukshaye pranan. So if food is available, Agni will digest that food. If food is withheld, Langhana is done, then excessive doshas are digested. But if Langhana is continued even after doshas are digested, निरामत्व आ गया है, फिर भी लंघन अगर शुरू रखे तो दोषक्षय तो धातुओं का पचन होने लगता है और आदमी क्षीण होने लगता है। और जब धातु क्षय की अवस्था ज्यादा देर तक चलती रहती है तो उससे मृत्यु भी आ सकता है। सो आहारम पचति शिकी, दोषान आहार वर्जित पचति, दोष क्षय तो धातु पचति च धातु क्षय प्राणान। In Aushadha Nirupana, for Mandagni we have Langhana, for Tikshanagni we have Guru and Shita Ahar. For Vishamagni, regularity in diet times and items is very important. Prakriti Vichar, in Kapha Prakriti, Staimityad Ashidra Arambha Kshoha Vikaraha. Most of the diseases are chronic. There is long-term Hetu Sevan, there is also Okasatme. For Vata Dosh, Shigratvat, Shigra Samarambha Kshoha Vikaraha. Vata Vikara, usually they are acute. The temperament of the patient is unstable, and these patients are very less compliant. विषयवश्य नहीं होते। तो प्रकृति विचार in औषध निरूपण comes under selection of drugs, selection of औषधि सेवन काल, and selection of कल्पना। कफम दुर्जनवत तीक्ष्णैः, वातम स्नेहेन मित्रवत, पित्तम जामातरमिव मधुरैः शीतलैः जये। That is, In a nutshell, the Aushadha Nirupan in following slides, I am using slides from my one of my other lectures that was about autoimmune diseases. So, where which are in Dosha Nirupana, each disease has a typical age of onset, and these are the diseases which have onset later in life. They come under Vasa: multiple sclerosis, rheumatoid arthritis, primary biliary cirrhosis, autoimmune hepatitis type 1, Graves' disease, Jorgen syndrome, systemic lupus erythematosus. All these are Vata diseases. Whereas celiac disease, type 1 diabetes, autoimmune hepatitis type 2, celiac disease, all these are childhood diseases which can be considered under kapha. Middle-aged diseases like Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, Addison's disease, they can be considered as pitta. Now, where which are in Aushadhi Nirupana, it's for kapha dosha, Parama Aushadha is Madhu, Aragvadadi Gana, Arkadi Gana, Mustakadi Gana, Asanadi Gana, Surasadi Gana, Mustadi Gana, Vatsakadi Gana. All these are Shamana Aushadhis. And for Shodhana, Mrudu Vamana, Virechana, Nasya, and Jaloka. In the age before 15, usually Vamana is contraindicated. For the middle age, Parama Aushadha is Ghruta, and we all know Durva, Ananta, Nimbava, Satma, Utta, Gundra, Bhirushi, Tapaki, Priyangu, Nagrodhadi, Padmakadi, Stire, Dve, Padmam, Vanyam, Saryavadishya, Pittam. Shodhana should be prominent in this age group. Virachan, Vaman, and Raktamokshan are important here. In the age above 40, Vata is predominant, so Parama Aushadha is Taila, and Bhadradaru Nutam Kushtam, Dashamulam Baladvayam, Vayum Vira Taradishya, Vidaryadishya Nashet. That is, these ganas are important. Shodhana should be Mrudu and Basti Pradhan. Visha and Sannipat are important, and for all ages, for Visha and Sannipat, Pradhanik kind of values, Gruta should be the Paramaushad. Anjanadi Gana, Patol Katorohinyadi, Aragvatadi, Rodhradi, Arkadi, Eladi, Shamadi. These ganas are important, and full Panchakarma is advisable. Now, Sattva Vichar, for in Vasa, people are usually Alpasattva and non-compliant. In Pitta Prakriti, they are intolerant, they are Madhya Sattva, and they are very irritable. In Kapha, they are stoic, they are lazy, but they are usually Pravara Sattva. They can tolerate harsh treatments. For Aushadha Nirupana, in Alpa Sattva, we should ensure that support system exists and it is sufficient. The environment should be user friendly so that वो अल्प सत्व रुग्ण जो है वो भाग नहीं जाता. Avoid all kinds of harsh treatments in alpa sattva patient. In Madhya Sattva, the approach should be non-threatening and conquer with love and sweetness. For Pravar Sattva, transparency is more important. Complete information is essential. For Satmya Vichar in Dosha Nirupan, in Vata, usually addictions are there. Those responses also unpredictable. Whereas in Pitta, there is intolerance to many substances. Severe drug reactions and interactions can happen. And in Kapha, there is strong tolerance. But if there are addictions, they are very deep rooted and not easily removable. आहार के बारे में देश विशेष से सातवें विशेष बदलता है. भूमि सातवें दधि क्षीर करीरम मरुवासिषु क्षारः प्राच्येषु मत्स्यस्तु सैन्धवेषु अश्मकेषु तैलाम्लः कंदमूलानि मलये कुंकणे पुनः पेया मंथ उदीच्येषु गोधूमो अवंति भूमिषु बाल्लिका बाल्लवाश्चीनाः शूलिका यवनाशकाः मांस गोधूम मार्द्विक शस्त्र वैश्वानरोचिताः. So सात्म्य changes according to देश. आहार विचार रसस्वादं लवण पित्तोषण कषायकाः षड् द्रव्य आश्रितास्ते यथा पूर्वं बलावाः तत्राद्या मारुतं घ्नन्ति त्रयस्तिक्तादयः कथं कषाय तिक्तमधुराः पित्तमन्येतु कुर्वते. that we all we know. अवस्था विचार in dosha nirupan, vegaavastha and avegaavastha are usually related to vata. Samavastha and niramavastha can be of any dosha. Uttana and gambhira avastha also can be of any dosha. Ashuttar, extremely, explosively episodic kind of disease. Rapid onset disease is from vata. Ashu can be vata, pitta or vata pitta. And jirna avastha is usually vata kapha and vata kapha. In Aushadha Nirupan, Vegavastha, rapid acting drugs and rapid acting roots should be used. In Avegavastha, food is the best medicine. In Samavastha, Pachana, Deepana and Langana. In Niramavastha, it should be Shamana. If Uttana and Gambhira, choice of root is different. Ashuttar, Pratyakheya Chikitsa, emergency life support, ICU, should be considered. For Ashu, Sadhyo Omana, Sadhyo Virechana, Niruha, Matravasti should be used. For Jivna Vikara, Vidhivat Panchakarma should be used. With this, I think Doshaushadha Nirupana for Swasthya Rakshana is covered. Rest of the things can be covered in another lecture. If there are any questions, I am ready to answer.
नमो नमः. धन्यवाद सर. हमेशा की तरह ही आपका आज का व्याख्यान बहुत ही मार्गदर्शन पर और सूक्ष्म विचार बहुत बेसिक से लेकर व्यवहार में चिकित्सा के लिए उपयोगी तत्वों तक सुंदर कलेक्शन आपने सभी सूत्रों का दिया है. तो मैं इस सुंदर प्रस्तुति के लिए आपको पुनश्च धन्यवाद देती हूँ. फिलहाल तो कोई प्रश्न नहीं है. आपकी अनुमति से ये पुष्प हम यही समाप्त करते हैं।
धन्यवाद।
धन्यवादः। पुनर्मिलामः।